Hi, my name is Leah Morris, and I am a life transition coach. I specialize in relationship transitions and career transitions, and the two often tend to go hand in hand. So today I wanted to actually be talking specifically, though, about those of you who might be considering going through a career transition and the one thing that you should definitely not skip when making these decisions. And I have a bonus tip at the end as well. So the one thing that I find with a lot of clients who are unhappy in their current jobs is that typically they will start to apply to new positions within the same field, and or they completely change careers altogether. Now, part of the choosing process to go either one way or the other is that they either don't know what else to do, so they continue going to the same sort of industry, same career field, or they completely want to throw everything out altogether and start over because they're so sick of the job that they have. So both of these are options, right? But I say before you make any decision, it's good to really be deliberate about the actions you're going to take rather than just taking action and thinking that maybe it'll help you to get to a place where you're more satisfied with your career. So with the first option, choosing the career that's in the same field, this is totally fine, right? Like, this is an option. However, you need to ask yourself why it is that you chose the career to begin with. So where were you at in life when you originally chose your career? What kind of things did you hold to be most important? What were your core needs at that time in your life? And do those still fit where you're at now? Are your core needs still the same? Maybe when you were first getting started, one of the things that you needed to see was financial stability. Maybe that's not necessarily the case now. Maybe you're in a different financial space. Maybe what's more important to you is to feel like you're doing something meaningful. So really asking yourself the questions of what matters most to me now is the best strategy that you can have in making an action or a decision that will lead you to a place where you actually do feel better about your career, rather than just choosing a different, company in the same career path and still ending up, feeling miserable at the end of the day, another year from now or so. Another thing to look out for is if you're completely changing careers altogether, I would ask yourself the same thing, right? Like, what is it that you're actually needing out of a career right now? What are the core elements that need to be in place? And I'm talking about like feelings too. Do you need to feel a sense of balance with your work in life? Sometimes I get people who are going from the corporate world to the entrepreneurial path, which I did myself, and I can tell you it comes with its ups and downs, right? So making sure that, as shiny as the new path might seem, that it is still answering the core needs that you have in terms of career specifically. And thinking about, for the next 5 years, what does that look like? Often people aren't aware that we actually change careers multiple times in our lives. And so knowing that that's okay, giving yourself permission to change career paths down the road again. Coaching may not be what I always want to do. So always being willing to check in with the core needs when you are feeling frustrated or stuck or, stagnant in your career. What is it that you're not seeing that you need, right? So what are the needs? Not necessarily the wants, but the needs. And this will actually help you to get to a place that feels a lot more purposeful when you're making decisions. So you're not going to feel as impulsive. You're not going to be choosing something that you don't know, if it will help you to get to a place where you're feeling fulfilled. The thought behind this is, if you're going for certain feelings and certain elements of emotion that you're trying to feel at the end of the day about your career and how you're feeling within your career, then you can make decisions that will guide you toward feeling those feelings. So this isn't necessarily about needing to see a certain dollar amount necessarily, although that is a piece of why we work. But this is more about the needs and the feelings and the emotions that you're aiming for and that you desire to have about your career. The bonus piece that I wanted to throw out there with you as well was, I'm going to tie this back into what I just mentioned, which is like the money element. Sometimes we have this arbitrary number in our mind of what we'd like to be making. And when we want to be making a career transition, sometimes that number can actually inhibit our decision-making process from being totally aligned with the core needs that we have. This arbitrary number isn't necessarily wrong, but I would ask yourself, what is my bottom line? So rather than aiming for a certain number now, which is totally fine to aim for, have it be like, what's my bottom line first? And then you can work your way from there. And then you know that at the end of the day, at least I'm getting my financial needs met. Bottom line meaning, what are all my bills? What's the basic way of living that I want to be living to have all of my needs met, and maybe then some. Like, what are your basic needs? It's different for everyone. So make sure you know monthly or yearly what that looks like. And then you have sort of a bookend to where to work up from there. So you're not just thinking about making a career change and it has to match exactly what it is that you're making now or more. Maybe that number is different. Maybe it doesn't have to match exactly what you're looking for, and that might give you more options in terms of choosing career paths, as long as it meets your bottom line. So I hope this helps. Career transitions are so scary, right? They can come with a lot of fears, a lot of doubts, a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of uncertainty. So be kind to yourself, but know that you can strategize your way through this in a way that feels a lot more deliberate and purposeful at the end of the day. All right, take care. Bye-bye.